there, partners. It's the one-eyed asshole here. Been a minute. Seen a lot of interesting things out there on Helios 2. It's an asteroid around the Orion belt, just south of Baldur's Gate. Anyway, I'm here to talk about the p30L. Dummy round in there. You can choose to believe me or not. It's one of the, if not the best pistol out of 27 that I've owned and operated with. In terms of toughness, versatility, recoil reduction. I'm talking mass-made 9mm here. Of course there are better. There's a few better that I've owned, like SIG 1911. I'd probably rank the Kimber TLE2 next to it. SIG P220, SIG P226, P2000, LEM. Those LEM triggers, especially with the Gray Guns mod. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. Fuck off if you don't. Fucking incels. I know my audience. Audience. Anyway, I am going to be doing a series of videos that talk about gun safety. Alright? What type of gun should you own? And why? Why are your reasons for wanting to own one? I'm mainly going to be focusing on the most vulnerable people in the population. I'm not talking about the people with like 27 guns in their collection, which I do not have. I live in Utah, where it's legal to buy and sell basically at your discretion. In fact, it was like kind of shocking to see how easy it was to get done. Like, I literally had to create my own receipts, and like the people that weren't willing to let me view their ID and put their signature next to a copy of it with a copy of the gun serial number, well, they're free to fuck off. But it's perfectly legal to not do any of that. It's fucking insane. Advice for people buying guns in states like this. Utah Gun Exchange. It's a pretty great website. I got this new, $650. Quite a few rounds through it. No problems. Installed a Wolf and Gray Guns springs in it. I plan on getting the Gray Gun short reset trigger modification. Speaking of Batman, how about that, huh? That looks like the no, Batman. Oh, my neck. Fuck off. 27 different grip configurations. Looks pretty goddamn cool. John Wick's weapon of choice. Yes, it's pointing in a safe direction because it's pointed at my iPhone, which I fucking hate. I plan on doing like a Soprano-style execution on this motherfucker at some point. And then from there, it's through to a large stack of books that I don't need. Like Drek, just solid Drek. Which this is not. You got a 1913 Picatinny rail. You got front and rear salations. You got some front and rear fellatio. Anyway, I had the SK version of this, and I was able to, with some practice, I was able to do some pretty solid tags, like double taps with, I can't remember the exact groupings, but like really small, very, very tight groupings at 100 feet and then beyond. Like, I totally maxed out the indoor range, and with this, that was no problem. Even rusty, it was no problem. I like to film these in like a little bit of a different style. As soon as I can, I'll be setting up multiple cameras, getting out there, going shooting. I do want to talk about a new ammo. What do I do with this? I want to talk about a new ammo. It's literally here in Salt Lake City, Utah, at a place called Ammo. I don't work there. I ain't getting a fucking penny from promoting this, but I'll show the ammo in a follow-up video. It goes over 2,000 feet per second, 65 grain, hollow point. Apparently it's a brand new technology. Like when I went in there, at least this is what they told me. My father and I were like some of the first customers to be able to get them, and I tried it next to some subsonic, some stuff that went like 800 feet per second. And then I tried it next to some 124 grain Hornaday, and then some plus Ps, some polycase plus Ps that go 15 to 16. This shit, like, I mean, it breaks the sound barrier. Like, it's insane what it does. And fun as hell to shoot. Which, that's my main focus when it comes to shooting. I know that is with a lot of the people on these YouTube gun channels, but I am focusing on a couple things. One, gun safety. Two, talking about gun control, which Bo of the Fifth Column will do better than I ever can. So check his channel out. But three, I want to talk about arming the LGBTQ community, specifically trans people. They are overwhelmingly one of the most, if not the most, murdered minority group in the United States. My ex-wife is now non-binary trans. We're still very, very close. And they have had to deal with some harassment and some bullshit. And thank fuck that I got them trained up. I got them a Ruger 1022, which I recommend everyone get a Ruger 1022 rifle to train with. Get airsoft guns that are as close to the operational features of the pistol that you own or plan on getting. And that way you can, like, if you got a backyard or somewhere where you can go train with it easy, you can train with it, shoot. Most of them shoot like, I think it's .177 caliber pellets. My friend, whose brother runs an airsoft place, he had an AR-15 that's fucking battery powered that shoots .177 caliber pellets, I believe. I don't know much about airsoft, so. But I mean, the AR-15 like operated exactly like a real AR-15. Assault rifle 15. No, it's Armalite, but yes, it's an assault rifle. It is often used to assault and murder people. So, it is, as Bo pointed out, a low-powered rifle. To my fellow lefties out there, whom I plan on hopefully reaching many of you, as well as people on the right. I mean, this will be political, but you know, we're all human beings here. You know, like, there's no reason for hate. There's no reason for anger. Like, we live in an age where, like, I was barely I was like barely in junior high when Columbine went down, and I remember how it was after that. And my next door neighbor has a sister who literally was in the library during Columbine. Like, you can see her begging for her life under the table. She's been featured in a couple books. His wife is from Newtown. These are my next door neighbors, okay? Like, this is how common mass shootings are. Kids are having to deal with, like, mass shooting school drills, and most of us over the age of 35 did not have to deal with that. And now our children, and then soon our children's children, are going to be having to deal with it. As Bo pointed out, you don't need a 3D printer to make a gun. I think he said, like, the hardest thing he had to deal with, and, like, I think that was a him issue, was making the magazines for an AR-15. But, like, you can make an AR-15, or more correctly, a carbine, in semi-auto and probably full auto in your garage with the proper equipment, and if you know what you're doing. The hardest part, I would assume, would be making an ammo, because most people that would know how to do that are probably complete idiots when it comes to the chemistry of making gunpowder, especially, like, making it in a way where it's, like, super down to the point in accuracy. FYI to my fellow lefties out there, when I say the AR-15 is a low-power rifle, like, any right-winger watching this can confirm that. Like, it was originally, I think, designed as a varmint rifle. My dad is a Vietnam veteran. He had to deal with the M16 back then. Troops back then were starved for getting their M14s back, because those things actually operated well. But, like, if you think an AR-15 is, like, horrible in a school shooting, which it is, imagine what is considered a high-powered rifle in semi-auto in a school shooting. Like, holy shit. To anyone else who has actually seen up close what a firearm wound looks like and smells like, and dealing with that, us in the firearm community and this very sick gun culture, it needs to be corrected. We need better education on it. We need a better understanding of how firearms work. We need a better understanding of, like, what we're actually going to do in a country where there are more guns than people, and where the vast majority of those guns are in a very specific political camp. Let's even the playing field, and by that I don't mean, like, civil war. I don't mean killing each other. I don't mean getting violent with each other in any way. Okay, I mean, let's you know, as the Beatles say, come together in various ways. Let's come together. Let's come together. Let's be peaceful together. You can do that with firearms, and anyone who thinks like your pistol here is gonna stop a bad guy with a gun, just look at the vast majority of shootings where more than 2 or 3 people were killed by an assailant in a store or a school or anything like that. Arming teachers is not the solution. They are not trained for that. That is not their fucking job. Their job is to teach, and they're already not paid well enough for that. Putting police in school is not the answer. Uvalde proved that. Like, those motherfuckers just sat back, literally watched a motherfucker sit there and grab a drink from a drinking fountain while children were being fucking massacred. Okay? Meanwhile, there were parents, like, willing to run in unarmed. And these fully armed, tactical motherfucker, like, military, Jason Bourne, John Wick wannabes were just hanging back because they're fucking cowards. Okay? So a coward with a gun is about as useless as spooge in a fucking sock. Alright? So let's just talk about, like, firearms as they are. They are weapons. They are tools designed to kill. By definition, that's a fucking weapon. Just like, see this here? This is a war sword. Now, I can take it out and set up an entire camp. I can do things with this, like I can create hunting tools with it. I can set up a camp with it. I can cut down a tree with it. But ultimately, it was meant to lop off fucking heads and kill people. Traditionally speaking. Now, it can be used for other things. Like, I can train with it, have fun with it. I can make exercise fun. Same with firearms. You can train with them. You can have fun with them. You can go compete with some of these officers, the police officers out there. I was going to say something else, but go train with them. Get in shooting competitions, you know. Show them the low ready position. Show them that double action, single action pistols, LEM triggers and DAC triggers and revolvers are probably the route to go, especially for cops. Like, they don't need a Glock with, like, a ghost trigger and a 25-round magazine loaded with fucking hollow points and dumping it on some motherfucker, alright? We can go over all of that later down the line. But, so, this is my first video pertaining to this. I'm going to just keep releasing them. Go ahead and hate on me all you want. Insult my appearance, blah, 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 blah. Or, like, let's just be human beings to each other. Let's be the best of what we can be. And if all you can be is hateful and insulting and bewildered and ill-educated and angry, then that says a hell of a lot more about you than it does me. And that's a fact. Peace, love, and peace the fuck out.